restaurants, Arabic writing, you don't see no English art. It's really Arabstan. The Jews that left, the Zionists, done run off from Lebanon. No treaty, no nothing. He never did that, Palestine never did nothing. And then, when they got mad 6 years later and come back, what happened? They got their behind lit up. Now they talking about what they're gonna do. Well, they're gonna have to do it with everybody. Nuclear option is out, but if this thing is so serious that if Israel use nuclear weapons, it's still finished. It's still finished. You see in the news all of these so-called new anti-Israeli stuff, people getting stabbed. That's the Israelis doing that for their own, make you sympathize the poor Zionists. No. They're too sharp for that. The Zionists, you ought to hear the real Jews talk about it. How they ran the Jews out of Iraq. They burned synagogues. The Zionists did. One of the Jews is the rabbi. He said, man, when we was in Lebanon, not Lebanon, when we was in Iraq, the Jews we had so much friendly relations. People would kiss their little shawl and little stuff. Arabs, it was just friendly stuff. He said the Zionists burn us out. So we'd have to immigrate. You immigrate or we're gonna burn your butt out. And they knew they was being burnt out by yes.
That's what the guy said after this last incident. He said they need to go back. You want the Jews to go back to Israel. That's what they need to do because of the rise in anti-Semitism. And that's exactly what he said.
Yeah. Okay, let me see if this is okay. Technically that's enough. We went far enough, but they have come. We didn't talk enough about everybody. But again, this is not out of arrogance or anything like that. But I asked the question, how often have our brothers been right and how often have we been wrong? In this analysis of what's going on in the world. Okay. The last thing I'll mention though is Stalingrad to Oakland. Okay, now remember, 5 out of 6 Germans that was killed during the war was Russians killed them. Stalingrad was a turning point in the war. We've been saying this all along, almost as though we know this. If you would have listened to any of our lectures, you would think this is exactly what we expected to happen, and this is the time it's happening. That's the way it would sound. Technically, that's the way it is. Stalingrad to Oakland. That's Stalingrad. For us, Oakland and Stalingrad is when we stop the forward progress of the Wehrmacht, the German army. We didn't stop the white man in Oakland. He stopped. He has nothing else he can do. Nothing. I can't imagine anything he can do. And if he did it, it wouldn't make no difference. It would just be more ridiculous than what he's already done. He can only be ridiculous. Triple, quadruple. Like now, if he's in the 3rd cycle of ridiculousness, maybe he can do 4 types of ridiculous. maybe more than that. But it'd just be ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He can't get out of it. He's already done it. It's already on paper. Now, we've shown, like the Russians shown, that the German army could be stopped. Remember Blitzkrieg, lightning war? The Germans rolled over everybody. Remember in America? They rolled over every institution. They've rolled over everybody in America. They rolled over them. You say, well, you only have 2 senators left. Well, technically, we got 1.5. We'll get the other, then we'll have whatever we think is right, 10, 15, 20, 50. We're going. We're already on the road now. That's why the United States of America and all of its institutions will be in total disarray and defeat. It's already in disarray. Look at, what are the white folks saying about the White House? It don't, they just, right? Tell the truth. They just, right? It's just.
It's absurd.
It's absurd. Absurd. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It don't make no sense at all. Okay.
They actually called it the Black House.
But remember, that's why Allah put Trump in there this time.
Right.
Allah put Trump in there. That's time for him to put whatever they had hopes of. See, when Obama was in there, they could have sold ice cream, ice to Eskimos. Love, 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 love. Of course, after he was there, a couple of weeks, everybody began to change their mind, except some of the diehards. But that's one of the things I like about Michelle Alexander, the wavy-headed woman. She said Obama was a disaster. And she said it when he was in there. That's the only reason she might be the police. It don't make no difference. It don't make no difference who none of them are. When that wave of history, everybody got to duck, get out of the way, or jump on the wave and ride the wave. That's what's happening now. America's wave is going out. It's gone. They can't revive it. They can't bring it back. Okay. Now, our mission is it's not destruction, but it's nourishing the environment within the decline for good. That's our job. I believe that's been our job all the time, and that's our job. Other people burn, baby burn, that's their business. Our job is just like what we said, and I'll close with this. When we talked about optimism, is finding the best picture and the best method and the best of everything. Optimism. Humor, if we didn't have humor, we couldn't have survived none of this. Well, we could if allowed it, but, you know, that's what goodness, humor, you know, kindness. That's what we've been using. That's why we're where we are. Okay, now we're going to be on the move from now on. What all the Negroes do is their business. What everybody else do is their business. It's not that we're closing the door on, let's say, this, that, or other. But people, I believe this is a more responsible period. If you act stupid, you'll be treated stupidly by the environment. This is what I believe. If you do certain things now, it'll catch up with you. You know, what goes around comes around. And sometimes you get Like the Quran says, Allah let people move and then they think they done got away with it, then Allah come back, or He may show you the reality in this time, or He may postpone it to another time. But your job, talking to the Prophet, peace be upon him, is to rehearse and proclaim this truth. That's what a job does. Okay. That's our job too. This is a big time we're living in. Are there any questions or any comments about anything that we have said? Any questions, any comments? Did anything come up?
No questions here, but I had a question. So it seems like you brought up Manna and then all the other groups that you've worked with throughout the years, and they all seem like they got like a lock on the movement right now. So it seems like we need to develop a program, or institutionalize a program to liberate the movement. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that program that would need to be put in place.
Okay. It appears that they have a lock on the movement. But what do they have a lock on? Now remember, when truth comes, it knocks out falsehood's brain. Right? What we have is the truth. What we have is the historical reality. What they have is flim-flam. It's a sham. Okay? However long they keep that up, it's fine with us. However long the immigrants pretend like this is not happening, that's up to them. See, that's what the big relief is. We already got what we have to do, and that's what we're doing. Okay. As-Sabiqun job is to show the way. They're the ones that show the way. They don't make the people come. They show the way. Anything that we need to show the way, first of all, we've already shown what you can do, what you can survive, all that. But now is to show people in your day-to-day life what to do. When we do that, that's going to expose them because they're talkers. They're talkers. Okay, the stuff we got in our mind and in our heart, we're going to do that. They can't stop us from doing that. If we didn't do it before, it's because it wasn't the time. We could have done this all the time. It wasn't the time. It don't make no difference what the Negroes thought or the white man's thought. The white man thought dumb stuff like, well, if we frustrate his activity over and over again, he'll get lazy and tired. So I said, this is what these dummies think. Fine. If I go out to California last time, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this. And so they frustrate exactly what I was doing, right? And they think, well, give him a few weeks of this, he goes to jail, he does this, that, and other, and he's not doing anything right now. He's not working on his house. He's not working on the masjid because we won't let him. Well, they just don't know. I don't want to work on the house. I don't want to work on the masjid. I just got my stuff a nice little clean spot, bleached it down, wiped it down, throw my stuff on the floor when it's time to go to bed, on my mat, and get a good sleep. I got radio there, I got everything. I got all those articles I've already written. I'll be putting them out soon. I don't care what they think, the dummies. And then, one thing I might be doing is taking my last vacation. This is my, well, Tomorrow is January the 1st. That's 2020 vision. So your official rest and recuperation is over. The dummies don't realize that every time in history I had a rest and recuperation. Remember I'm under all that pressure in Oakland? I go stroll over to Africa and Europe and Scandinavia. You know what Pete O'Neill said? When he first saw me in Tanzania, he had moved from Algiers, and he had a picture of me, because they'd take a picture, photograph it, and put it in their file. He said, look at your picture then. He said, you was all scrunched up and mean looking and tense. I said, that's right. You can see that in the Negro's face. Boy, that was serious. He said, now look at you. All I said, well, man, I walk on the beach, run on the beach. I say, you know how Muhammad Ali trained underwater? I walk out in the water and I be throwing punches. You know, I was still in my 20s then. I could turn flips, do anything I wanted. He said, but you look different. I said, that's right. Okay. So every time they do some stupid stuff, what do? What did we say we did? It's supposed to produce this, that, and another? No, it's not. It don't produce it. Because we do the opposite. If I'm supposed to get tense and anxious, of course we're writing all the time, we're doing, but to him it looks like this nigga's resting. Right? Don't worry about the flash in the pan, all the people manipulating the movement. You know, you don't have to worry about that, because boss man gonna make sure that everybody's woke. And everybody that wakes up, they're all from Syria, they're from Iraq, they're from Iran, right? They're from the Arabian countries, in Oakland and all that. They're all from Yemen, right? Boss man is waking everybody up right now. We don't have to worry. We don't have to wake nobody up. Here's why. Everything we said is manifest. Allah showed it. Everything is so clear, right? Imagine we used to go around and pass out flyers against Saudi Arabia. You don't have to do it now. And everybody knows that. We don't have to tell them, we don't have to force them. But you have to trust Islam. What Allah says in the Quran, when it's their time, they're going to come around. The people are. We don't have to I may not even mention their name much anymore. But we don't have to have a program designed to do nothing to them. Remember we talked about institutional building institutions that will carry us where we need to go. That was last week, before last. Yeah. Right. But that's what we have to do. That's what we're doing now. That's what we're discussing. All this is the discussion of a no-name system. Why is no name? Because we got a picture in our mind what that 20-year temporary period should encompass. But it's not just us. The world is going to be involved. See, we ain't talking about us no more here. That's a thing of the past. When I say, of course, the Masjid and As-Sabiqun, but the way we're dealing with Islam is we're practicing it and letting everybody see if they want to see. But this is what we're doing. That includes feeding people. That includes clothing people. That includes Amir bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar, enjoining the right and the wrong. What is prohibit the wrong? According to our ability and the time in which we live. And which policy is best to fit. Remember, we got Quran, we got the Sunnah. We also got history. And we also know, I know one thing, and I feel it strongly. Those Negroes don't know nothing about America and its peoples. They got hits, but they can't smell it, they can't taste it, or they would have said something about it. The Islam would have forced them to make a move. They don't know. They don't know. They butt from a hole in the ground. They just don't know. And mixed with, they don't care. Pharaoh dazzled everybody with all this Pharaoh's party. They dazzled, it said they dazzled the people. They was dazzled. They wasn't dazzled when the Pharaohs turning around in that water. You see what I mean? They had to bring Pharaoh down in front of everybody so everybody would know that we have to make our, that's what's happening now. That is, and definitely we're not by ourselves. I don't care whether it's Malaysia, whether it's Indonesia, whether it's the Philippines. Everybody is mad with America. And everybody knows that America is a liar. We don't have to do nothing. Those people that are with America, let them ride. We're not going to chase them down. In fact, we haven't been chasing that crew down for a long time. We don't hardly even talk about them in Juma. 10 years ago, we called their names in Juma. We'd have people walk in, they'd be from New York, and we'd talk so bad about some of their people they liked, they'd get up and walk, they couldn't stand it. We don't need to do that anymore. It's all clear. I hope that's clear to us that we have to do what we are structured for. That's where we're at right now. Yeah. And leave them alone. Anything else? Any more comments or questions?
So it's a parallel just feeling like it was during the revolution.
Yeah, he's ready. Huh?
Is a parallel like feeling like it was